Hey guys, it's Jenny. Welcome back once again to Solid Gold. In my last video, you guys came along with me to the 2018 Central Florida Koi Show. We saw some big, beautiful, awesome fish, geeked out together with some other goldfish nerds. And of course, you guys know I was on a mission to find some wakin goldfish for my pond, and I did happen to find them. And in today's video, you guys are gonna get to see me setting them up in their quarantine tanks, and I'll show you guys each fish one by one too, so you can get a little bit of a closer look. I got these from Chris from Samurai Koi and Goldfish at the Koi Show, and there's a couple in here in particular that I'm really excited about. As soon as I got home from the show, I tipped over this blue tub. This is a 650-gallon blue poly tank that I had in my yard. I had used it previously with my goldfish and had sterilized it and had just had it sitting in my yard for the next time I needed it, which happens to be today. So as soon as I got home, I started filling it up and started to float the fish in here. Now the fish have been in this bag since Saturday evening, so I'm treating them exactly as I would if they had been shipped to me. Now the reason you can't just open the bag immediately and drip acclimate the fish or something like that when you've had them shipped to you is because when fish are shipped, the water in the shipping bag becomes very toxic, and as soon as you open the bag, it becomes even more toxic and can stress the fish or even kill them. That's because fish excrete CO2 as they're breathing inside of that shipping water. It's building up in the bag and keeping the pH of the bag pretty low. At the same time, the fish are excreting ammonia through their gills and also through their poop. So the ammonia in the bag is going to be kept a little bit less toxic than it normally would be because the pH is so low. Now as soon as you open the bag, the CO2 in the shipping water is going to start off-gassing immediately, and that's going to bring the pH way up pretty quickly, and in that case the ammonia becomes way more toxic and can stress the fish to the point of even killing them. And I've already done a full video on my acclimation process, how and why I do it, on my channel, so if you guys want to watch that video, if you haven't already, just click right here on the screen and it'll take you right to that video. That's all well and good, but why am I even quarantining these fish in the first place? There's no fish in my pond right now, so I don't have any, existing fish that I need to protect from these fish, and it's ready for fish. Here's the pond right here. It's doing really well. Since the last time you guys saw it, I have added some landscaping around it. I got these landscaping blocks, and my boyfriend Chris and I got this all edged out nice. So it looks a lot better now. But look at this gorgeous natural pond. Now I'm gonna put the fish in here. Say for whatever reason they did have some kind of parasite or bacteria or even maybe a virus. If I put the fish in here, imagine how difficult this pond would be to disinfect. It would be impossible to completely eradicate a disease from this pond if it was something really bad. So obviously it's up to the individual whether they want to quarantine their fish in a situation like this, but I just know that, I've been through disease outbreaks with my fish in the past, and I know how difficult they can be to eradicate even when you have clean bare bottom tanks. So I'm not going to take any chances with this beautiful pond. I don't want to put something in here that's going to, infect the pond and then not be able to put any fish in here in the future because it's just not able to be disinfected fully. So that's why I'm quarantining my fish. I'm just trying to be, better safe than sorry, as they say. But with that being said, let's get these poor little guys out of this shipping bag. Now you guys know that I was mainly on the hunt for a group of wakin goldfish for my pond. But once I got there, I saw that he also had some watonai. Now let me show you guys the difference here because I have them side by side. Right here are the wakin. This is more of a pond type goldfish with a slim elongated body, but it also has a double tail. So you can see here the double tail, and it's the two tail lobes are short, kind of like a common goldfish, a short tail, it's just doubled, and then they flare out from each other and they're separated in the middle by a split. Now watonai on the other hand are pretty much identical to that. They're very closely related. They just have a longer tail. So you can see here it's got the longer flowing trailing tail of something more like a standard ryukin, and it's also split down the middle. So he had some watonai mixed in with his wakins, and as soon as I saw that, I knew I had to get at least two because I am planning on having one of the aquariums out in my fish room showcase kind of the more, I guess, overlooked varieties of goldfish that people often keep in ponds if they keep them at all. Kind of more of the pond type goldfish, but they can do well in aquariums as well, and I feel like oftentimes a lot of these fish are overlooked in favor of the larger bodied more fancy type goldfish, but these guys are just as awesome as well. These are just little ones right now, and they're gonna grow really big, really beautiful. So after quarantine, I may put these guys, these watonai, in the pond initially, but after that, I'm gonna take at least 2 of them to have inside the fish room in one of my aquariums in there. So these are my 3 little watonai. I would say the one that I'm probably the most excited about, well, it was this one, but then I realized it does have a little bit of a flaw in its tail fin there, and that just may be some handling damage. You can see on the leading ray of one of its caudal fins, it just has a small tiny little break there. But I think that could heal up nicely. So next to that one, I would say the nicest one would be this one right here. It has a nice sarasa pattern, that means red and white, and the tail looks really symmetrical on each side and perfectly undamaged. Here are some of the wakins that I got. This one was the first one that's ever stood out to me at all when I first started looking at them, because it's a perfect 12 point, and that means that it has red on all the fins, a little bit of red on the mouth, red on the eyes, and even red on the gill covers too. This one here is my absolute favorite. Actually, these two right here in my hand right now, those are my 2 favorites of all of the wakins that I got this weekend. But this one is really cool because it has a really unique, kind of symmetrical but just asymmetrical enough to be cool color pattern, and I like that it has a red patch on its head with a little white spot in the middle of it. It's so unique. The fins look to be in really good condition on this one too, so I'm super happy about that. And this actually, since I love it so much, this actually may be one that I bring inside into the fish room to keep it in an aquarium, along with this guy. This is my other favorite. This one just has like such a perfect, classic, symmetrical color pattern, and I think it's really striking and really clean and nice looking. And the fins on that one are also really great. Who else didn't we look at in here? Well, I wanted some that were mostly red or all red, so I got this one here. This one has a really nice tail. And then this little guy down here, I just loved his very asymmetrical color pattern, how the red is mostly just on one side of his body and then the other side is pretty white. And then over here I've got a larger wakin. It has a cool color pattern where it looks like the front half of the fish has been dipped in orange and then the back half is white. I used to have a butterfly telescope like that, and he was always really cool to look at. And then this little guy here, such a great fish, but the only problem that's wrong with this that I noticed after I picked it out, and it was already bagged up, is this one has a flag fin dorsal. So that's kind of where the dorsal is kind of cut in half. And that's a very common deformity in goldfish, especially if they've ever been outcrossed with a dorsalless variety, because the dorsal fin tries to grow in, but it also thinks that it's not supposed to, so it just kind of ends up being like a half dorsal like that. Now, since this is going to be a pond fish, no one will ever notice, but I will know, and it will kind of bother me. But once it was bagged up, I was like, you've already been selected, so I'll just keep you anyways. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And then this would be the last wakin here. This one again has just a striking color pattern, really good fins, and a cute little red lips. And last, I also got a common goldfish. These are also called hibuna, but more frequently they're called common goldfish. It is just your standard goldfish, the original goldfish variety. Single tail, slim, long pond style body. But it has a beautiful classic, kind of like the other wakin that I showed you guys. It has that classic, really symmetrical color pattern that looks really good. And it has some fin damage there. You can see on the tail. That could just be from being in the bag and being at the show and handling and all of that. And it also has an extra little, almost like, I would describe it like a skin tag, but it's fin tissue right on the top of its tail fin there. It has a little fin tag, I guess we'll call it. A lot of times little slight imperfections in our fish like that can just make them a little more endearing and more special and unique to us anyways. Alright, now that I've shown them to you guys, I'm just gonna let them loose. They're all following the big one around. How predictable. So cute. Oh my god, these are gonna be so fun to watch swimming around in the pond. I can't wait. Well, the blue pond out here is almost full. I added just some light filtration. I have 2 sponge filters going in here, and on top, those white bags are bags of ceramic media that is already fully cycled. Those were in the filters of my fishless cycle tanks. So perfect that I had those. I just put them right in here, and that creates an instant jump start for your cycle. I'm of course going to have to watch it to make sure that it can handle this fish load in this amount of water, but I think it should be just fine. But with that being said, we still have one more special little fish to acclimate, so let's go inside and take care of him. Here he is. I have him set up in the bunny room. It's my little black oranda, 3-month-old Thai black oranda from Fish Corner that I got at the Central Florida Koi Show as well. Was not expecting to come home with any fish other than the group of pond fish, but when I saw this cute chubby little face, I just couldn't resist. So he's been floating here in this bag in his newly set up quarantine tank for, I would say, the past 30 minutes or so. So now the temperature in the water in the bag should match the temperature in the water in the tank. So I'm gonna open up the bag and let him out really quickly, just getting him out of that bag water as soon as possible, just like I did with the other fish. It also has an AquaClear 70 running on it for filtration with a sponge, and then fully cycled ceramic biomedia on top of that. So he should be all set up in here. Anytime you bring home new fish, they're already going to be stressed from the beginning, so you want to make sure that they don't experience any negative water quality while you have them, especially in quarantine, because that's when they're trying to recover from the stress of whatever it is. Maybe they were shipped to you, you picked them up at a show like I did. In either case, the fish are already a little bit stressed, so you want to keep them in as large of a quarantine space as possible so they have fresh, clean water. Keep up on the water testing and the water changing as necessary. Feed them a high quality fresh food, and just take really good care of them. Just give them some extra special attention during quarantine to make sure that they don't get additionally stressed and then fall ill or die. So let's get this guy out of the shipping bag. Now I'm quarantining the 2 groups of fish separately because I got them from 2 separate sellers at the show. So just to be safe, I'm keeping the fish from the 2 separate vendors in separate quarantine tanks with separate water change equipment and everything. Hey little guy, oh, you're so adorable. Look at that. What a cute little chubby fishy. Hi. There you go, there's your new home. What a little cutie. I love that chubby little oranda face. Well guys, those are my new fish that I got at the Koi Show this year. I hope you love them just as much as I do. I can't wait to keep bringing you guys new updates about them so you can watch them continue to grow and develop with me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, stay gold. Just a quick heads up guys, I'm going to be doing a members only giveaway this Friday just to show my appreciation for all my members who help make my video content possible. These are 3 cute felted goldfish made by one of my favorite goldfish artists of all time, Demi Tiubi, that I'll be giving away to members only. So if you want to be eligible to win in the giveaway, check the link in the description box below for info on how to sign up as a solid gold member, and I'll see you guys next time.